Allistar Overeem versus Francis Ngannou. Take it away.
All right, Allistar Overeem versus Francis Ngannou. These guys are barely human. This is going to be approximately 590 pounds sharing the octagon that night. I am going to have to pull up Francis Ngannou's Wikipedia page because as much as he's on the hype train, Dana White has been promoting the fuck out of Francis Ngannou. He's a Cameroonian fighter. I'd like to say that he's an upgrade of none other than the well-respected Czech Congo, if anyone remembers him. Fight fans new to the game, Czech Congo was a crafty veteran, fought some of the best fighters that the UFC heavyweight division had to offer. So, I'm going to start out with my thoughts on Allistar Overeem. He's looked a little bit chinny in his recent fights. And as everyone knows, when you get in that 206 to 266 pound weight class, you don't really have an opportunity to be chinny because even the weakest of strikers have the opportunity to put guys down at will. We've seen Mark Hunt destroy the likes of a Roy Nelson. We've seen Cain Velasquez just annihilate the likes of a Junior Dos Santos. So, Overeem's last fights, he's beat Fabricio Verdum. He beat the durable, ever-tough Hall of Famer, Mount Rushmorean New Zealand fighter in Mark Hunt. Quite positive. If Mark Hunt's not your favorite fighter, fuck you. He did lose to Stipe Miocic, or Miocic, depending on how you pronounce it. Possibly the greatest American in the world. He's a full-time firefighter, paramedic in Cleveland, and he still has time to hold that heavyweight strap in the UFC's heavyweight division. I don't know how he does it, but my hat is off to you, sir. Before that, he beat Arlovsky, JDS, Roy Nelson, Stefan Struve. I'm going to go back really quick. I have watched Ngannou fight. He moves really well. They have one common opponent in Overeem. I know that for a fact. But other than that, I know he's beaten Anthony Hamilton. Let me pull it up really quick. All right, so I'm looking at Francis Ngannou. He beat Arlovsky. He beat Anthony Hamilton. Before that, he beat a fighter in the UFC that doesn't even have a Wikipedia page, and his name was Bohan Milovic. And then it was Curtis Blades, and then it was Luis Henrique. William Balducci, none of these other guys even have a page. Anyone out there that's a fight fan, you know that I'm pretty much deep into this. I'm fairly well educated on the fight game. It's kind of hard to judge somebody's talent level when you're not watching them fight the best in the world. And Allistar Overeem is a guy who fought in Pride. He fought in Strikeforce. He's fought the best of the best in the UFC and challenged for that heavyweight strap. I'm going to go ahead and say that Allistar Overeem's technique is so crisp and so sharp, quite possibly the best Thai boxer that the heavyweight division has ever seen. He's also got a lot of submission victories that no one ever seems to bring to the table. If Ngannou can close the distance and do to Overeem what Bigfoot Silva, Travis Brown, and there was one more that beat him. I forget, was it Derek Lewis? Did he beat Allistar Overeem? You positive?
Derek Lewis?
Not sure if it was, but let's just go with the Fabricio Verdum and the Fabricio Verdum, Bigfoot Silva, and Travis Brown. I think that Overeem has gotten a little bit more crafty. He's less inflated than he was a couple of years back. He's more of a 245-pound fighter, a little bit better for a Thai boxer. He's spry on his feet. This fight can go one of two ways. Ngannou can close the distance and end this fight quickly, as did Stipe Miocic, or Allistar Overeem can fight from range, utilize what I consider to be the best boxing and Thai boxing that the UFC heavyweight division has to offer, and cruise to a easy decision or a knockout by attrition, very similar to the fight that I just broke down before with Khabib and Edson Barboza. I'm going to go with the, you know what, tonight I'm just feeling a little bit nostalgic. I'm going to go with the veteran. I'm going to go with Allistar Overeem by knockout somewhere in the third. I think that Ngannou's going to hang in there tough. Ngannou, although he's green, he's not that young. He's 31 years old. You know, he's been around the block a couple of times. He's not a 25-year-old. So look for Allistar Overeem to impose. And if Allistar Overeem can show up the best way he can and have his head in the fight and be calculated and be smart, if the best version of Allistar Overeem shows up and the best version of Francis Ngannou, I don't see any way of Francis Ngannou getting through. But if Overeem starts rolling the shoulders, dropping the hands, getting flashy, coming out to techno music like he did when he was the Ubereem, Francis Ngannou's going to have a big hole to exploit. So I'm going to go with Overeem by knockout in the third. Overeem, please don't let me down. Zeev, thanks for the question.